we've got another episode of Nelly Nino and how it's coming on. It's been a little while since I've been doing any filming. We've made a little bit of progress here and there. I've been doing loads of little random things. So, I believe the last video that I made, I covered kind of putting this in, just a brief overview of that. I've since built a frame, put in a lovely little, looks like a grow room, but it is just a storage for 3 25-litre barrels, which will then, I'll be able to decant into the water tank, which is up there because I'm waiting on some plumbing bits, and I've built a frame underneath. I put a heat pad onto that as well, just to keep the chill off and hopefully stop it freezing. We've got the lights up the top, lights on the front, and I've done a little bit of electrics the other day. Using the original power source for the tail lift, which was obviously on the back, I've rerun the wires that were the power for that and put a connection here and a connection there. So I'll be able to add more stuff and take stuff off as and when. It makes it quite easy, and obviously each one's fused. There's a hell of a lot of dust in there at the moment, which probably isn't the smartest thing, but I've remade this bit. There's a piece of wood underneath this and it was just too thick, it means the door doesn't shut, so I've redone that. I've still got to redo the window. And I've retrimmed this step. So originally the floor came in and the floor like ran across there and then back out, and the bottom of the step here was probably out to about there, and that sat just higher than the floor. So where I brought this out so that it's like completely flush with the door, so I can put a rubber strip in there to exclude any drafts that might come up from the box. The step closed up and it went like that, and then there was obviously no gap between the door and the step. So I've cut this off. There's pictures on the Instagram of the sort of an overview of the process that I've done. Got some lovely little countersunk bolts. You can see here, I drilled it in the wrong place a couple of times, but this isn't what I do. So mistakes will happen, and that's how we learn. But now that closes up and it tucks in nicely just underneath the floor, and the door closes for the first time in about 3 months. Here's my list of stuff that I've been writing on the side. I've been writing on the side because I kept writing lists of stuff that I have to do on paper and then I'd just lose the paper. But I've not managed to lose this big yellow beast yet. So hopefully I should remember what I've got to do. But for now, I'm gonna go and make some coffee. I'm never going to be one of those people who sits there and makes a 10-minute intro about making coffee. Button there. Coffee really doesn't have to be overcomplicated. Beans in a cup, done. Oh, so you've got to grind it, but don't overcomplicate it, just stick with instant. You don't have like time to be making all that crushed and freshly roasted, this, that and the other. Just stick with instant, dash of milk, dash of sugar, boom, done. Cut out a aluminium piece to go in the top of there. It's literally just glued onto the top of a 5mm ply. which runs around the grooves of the frame that I've made from the original ambulance stuff and the stuff that I took out. So that's been repurposed. So that now matches that. The only thing that doesn't match is the door, because I've had to make the door out of plywood rather than this plasticky stuff. It's kind of like a really dense polystyrene. I think it's like UPVC, something like that. But this side's white because I've not wrapped this side. That side's black. But where I've made these aluminium frames out of the other shelving that I took out of the ambulance originally, and the one on the other side of the bed, it does kind of match. If that makes sense. So we've got some aluminium on wood, more aluminium on wood. That frame matches that frame matches that, and the ones on this side. So there's stuff that kind of like matches all through, and then it changes from wall to wall. Because if it was all the same, it'd get a bit boring. Today, I'm going to be doing a little bit of electrics. It's going to be a little bit cramped under there because everything's so tight. It's probably not going to be too much filming because it's literally in a 6" by 10" place that I've got to do a bit of soldering, then run a wire. That's it. And I'm going to build the window too, so you'll probably see more of me building the window than you will of the wiring. Why did you cut it so far there and there? Okay. Dry fitted. Now I'm going to take it all apart, wet fit it, put sealant in there. These bolts look a bit rough, but I'm going to put them in for today. I've got some new bolts on order which will be anti-theft bolts, so you can't get them undone from the outside.